Hello everyone. Here in this video I'm going to show you how to automate the FBDI process using import bulk data operation of ERP integration service. So in Oracle ERP Cloud, in order to import the data in bulk using FBDI based integration, import bulk data operation of ERP integration service can be used, which can simplify and automate the entire load and import process in an FBDI based integration. That includes uploading files to UCM, submit the load interface file for import, next submit the respective import jobs, invoke the callback service URL. As you can see in the diagram, generate data file is done manually for the first time using FBDI templates to verify the behavior of the data when imported, but can be automated at the source system using some program or logic to generate the exactly same CSV which is being generated by the FBDI template. And also you can see the encryption and decryption can be a business specific, but can be achieved through PGP encryption decryption setup at Security Console of Fusion. Now, if you remember my previous lecture, there I have shown you everything using the step-by-step process, and it was kind of complicated. As you can see, first time we have to submit the upload file to UCM, which will upload the file in UCM directory. Then we have to use submit ESS job request to submit the load interface file for import. Then get the ESS job status, wait for the status to come as success or error, whatever it is. So let's think about the positive one, the status of the process using check process status. Then next, the submit ESS job request to submit the respective import processes. Then we have to get again the ESS job status to see whether the process is complete or not. But in the new method, we do not really have to do all these steps. All these can be done through a import bulk data operation. But in a non-FBDI based integration, we still have to follow the old method. That does mean submitting each operation for one activities, like upload file to UCM, submit ESS job request, get ESS job request to get the statuses and all these processes. All right. So now next we are going to see how we can automate the FBDI process using import bulk data. First, we will see using SOAP service, that has been SOAP service, and then we will see with the REST API. First, let's find the SOAP service wizard. So let's go to docs.oracle.com. Here we need to go to integrate. Under that we have to go to review SOAP web services, business object services, and here you can find ERP integration service. All right, so this is the wizard link. I have already prepared for my environment, and this is what it is. Let me go to SOAP UI, click on SOAP. Let me give a name to it, ERP integration service, and let me include the wizard URL. Click OK. There you go. Now here I can find the import bulk data operation. Here is the request. I'll double click here. So this is a sample message. I have prepared one sample message here. So let me copy and paste it. So here I have placed the file name, then I have given the content type as zip. Document title is just that the same as file name without the .zip extension. The document author, basically the user which I'm using to upload the data into UCM. Document security group, FA Fusion import export, which is nothing but the file import export here. Let me show you. Go to Navigator, More, File import and export is nothing but your FA Fusion import export. Click on File import export. So basically the journal file will load it in Fin General Ledger import. So that is something we need to provide in the document account. So I have provided Fin General Ledger import. All right. The content I need to provide in a base64 encoded format. So let's have a look at the sample file, how it looks like. So this is my sample file. So this is the zip, and then in the zip we have the .csv, glinterface.csv. This should be the one that Oracle specifies. It cannot be something different. The name should also be same as what Oracle defines. The zip name can be anything. The next section is the job details. So the job details section includes the import job details. So here you can see the job name includes the job package name and then the import job name. How do I get those details? Let's click on Home button. Let's click on the username. Click on Setup and Maintenance. Click on the task list. Click on Search here. Manage Enterprise percentage. And you can see here Manage Enterprise Scheduler, Job Definitions and Job Sets for financial, supply chain management and related applications. Search with the display name import journals. Hit enter. So this is the one that we need to submit. This in turn submits the child job, but we need to provide the details of this job. Click on edit. And you can see here, this is the job package name, basically the path. And there's a job name, and that is something is provided over here. The parameter list. So how do we get that parameter list? So you can just check from here, but I would recommend you go to Enterprise Scheduler. Click more here. Schedule processes. And you can click on Schedule New Process. Here you type in import journals. Tab out. Click OK. And you can see the parameters over here. So data access set, source, whatever source we are using. So I'm using spreadsheet. So I will select spreadsheet over here. And it will in turn select the ledger group ID and all other parameters. Now click submit here. Click OK. Click on refresh button over here and select import journals. Expand the parameters section over here And you can see there are two sections. One is parameters, which is nothing but what values we are selecting while submitting the job. There is another section called all parameter values. You can see what exactly values that is being considered in the back end is something shown over here. Alright, so now if you go back to the SOAP UI, so here we need to pass on this information, whatever we saw here in the parameters. But in case of OIC and in SOA, when we have to create .properties file, we need to pass on these values, not these ones. Right? So we will see that in the upcoming sessions. So here the parameter list, I have given whatever values I have entered while submitting the import process. Right? Then there is something called notification code, which is 30. It has certain meaning, whether I need to show it as a bell notification as well as email notification. So it has a certain value. That is something called 30. That's what I have selected over here. Job options. There are different options that I need to enable. So that is all I have enabled over here. Now, the content section is something we need to provide. So for that, we have this source file or the sample file that I'm going to convert it into a base64 encoded format. Now, let's see how we can convert the zip file into a base64 encoded text. For that, I'm using one site here. Here, I'm going to select the file and upload it. Click on encode, and it is going to give me a encoded version of the file. So click on download. Here is the encoded version of the file. I'll copy the text and paste it over here in the content tag. All right. Now I'm going to add the authentication information, basically the credential of Fusion. All right. Now I'll click on the Go button. As you can see that the request is submitted successfully, and this is the load interface file for import, ESS process ID. All right, so you can see here load interface file for import 3194018. 3194018. Let's click on refresh, and as you can see, the import journals process is also submitted, which is in pause status. The child process is submitted. It is now completed. The child process is succeeded, and the journals, import journals process is also completed with succeeded status. Let's verify the data. So click on journals here, general accounting journals. So let's take the data. Click on the zip, click on the CSV. Let's take this batch name and click on this search icon here. Click on manage journals, and here is the batch name. Remove the accounting period for now. Hit search, and you can see the data is imported successfully. So this is the way we can do through SOAP UI using ERP integration SOAP service. Now I'm going to show you how to do it in the REST API way. Let's go back to the Oracle documentation. Click on the Review REST API Services. Here you have the ERP integrations. So this is the one. So click on the create an inbound outbound set of data. So this is the reference path, and I have already created that. So here is that. So I'm going to use Postman to test it. So let me click on the URL and paste it. Select post. As you can see here, it's mentioned that HTTP verb to be used is post. Right now I'm going to add the authorization. Then I have to prepare the JSON body. I have to select raw and JSON from the drop down. And you can see here, this is what I have already prepared. This is import bulk data, the operation name, the document content. Here is the base64 encoded version of the file, the content type as zip, the file name. So here, this time I'm going to use another file. So you can see here, this is the one that I'm going to use here, 11032, the version. So the job name, basically the job name of the import journal process, and then the job package name of the same. Then the parameter list, what all parameters we have entered that we have seen earlier. The callback URL, I'm not sending anything, but you can just set one. Notification code, I have set here 10. Job options, what all job options I want to avail, and I have set for that. So let me copy this JSON message here and paste it over here. I'll click on send button over here. It will take few seconds. So you can see here the request is submitted and we have received the response. Let's go back to the Fusion instance, go back to scheduled processes. You can see the load interface file for import process is submitted, and here is the request ID, which is matching with the one, and the same process will be followed, whatever we have seen for the SOAP based ERP integration service. So let's quickly verify that. Let's wait for the import journal process to kick off. Yes, it has kicked off. So the child process is kicked off from the import journals process. Alright, so both the processes are in succeeded status. Let's quickly verify that. Let's go to General Accounting Journal. I'll go to Manage Journals. Let's look at the file content here. So this is the file content. So let's copy the batch name and remove this accounting period. Put the batch name over here. and hit on search button. Alright, so you can see the data is imported successfully. So this is how with a single operation we can automate the entire end-to-end FBDI process in an Oracle Cloud ERP environment. That's all. Thank you.